Hey guys, today actually before starting my video for today, I want to actually thank one of the YouTube commenter, Fiero88MPH 2018. Um, Yesterday he was actually watching one of my videos and made a comment saying Caleb Hammer will be all over this. Um, and thanks to you, I actually had a chance to watch some of his videos, and I only looked at a couple of them, but that's actually really what I wanted to do. And I don't know how he got started and started getting people to send in, the personal information and, got them to come and, do this in person and stuff like that. But ideally, that's really what I wanted to do is to really talk to individuals about where they're spending money and how you can kind of, I guess he calls it like a financial audit, which is fantastic. I think that's really what I wanted to do. It's something similar to that. So, thank you for letting me know. I'll definitely check it out a little bit more. I don't know if there's a way to kind of know how he started it, but no, thank you for. And it looks like he's doing fantastic, which is kind of great. So, I wanted to say that. But today, I found a post from a username poor decision underscore maker. Basically, she writes a post here about how she says, I seriously need help with getting my finances in order. And she basically lays out that her and her husband's household income, total household net income, I guess, bring home is about $168,000. But to give you a backstory, she just started a new job making 150,000 gross, so not too long ago. She said last month, and then prior to that she was making about 90. So there's about $60,000 jump in her income, which is great. And that's what is that, like 5,000 a month? So it makes it about $3,500 per month bring home, which is fantastic. And her husband makes about 110. So I guess that's how that 168 kind of makes up to be. She has a mortgage about $2,200 per 2,160 a month, at 3.5% interest. Card note $600 per month, 3.8 interest. Insurance 190, utilities and stuff like that 500, HOA 300. She has a couple of debts. She lists a car, which says she's got about $30,000 in balance. Student loans about 42,000. Credit cards $13,000 with zero interest. Ends in December 2023, so starting January of next year, I guess the interest will kick in. Apple Card 1,200 at 27% interest. Others Afterpay, Affirm, things like that at 2,000. And then she added that her monthly expenditures are somewhere between $13,000 to $15,000 per month. Has savings about 2,000 in Acorns investment. Savings, I guess cash is 1,600. 401k $23,000. Both husband and the wife the user are about mid 30s and have two kids, 3 years old and 4 months old. Own a townhome purchased for 330 in 2021, now worth about 384 according to Zillow. And then the last thing they added was in doing my taxes, the tax preparer informed me that we would be getting about 10 grand in refund, and that we would have to invest 4,000 into IRA. And that was 2 days ago, which is the 19th, which is actually the day after the last day of the tax filing for this year. So a few things. Congratulations, by the way, on getting, I guess, sort of a, not a sort of a, like a huge promotion or increase in income. One of the things that she mentions throughout the post is that she doesn't know where the money goes. Obviously, that's the biggest problem, right? Yeah, the numbers are important. Obviously, I try to always talk about having more income, more income, more income. In this case, she's got more income, right? Which is great. Uh, um, but also on the other side of that is we do have to know where the money goes. Like we need to know, um, and it would have been great if we figure out. Okay, so yeah, 16 or 15, 14, $15,000 going out every month, but I don't know. A lot of that is going towards the kids for their daycare or school or whatever it is, or babysitters because she has to work. I don't know what the dynamic on that is. I do have a 3-year-old myself, and I know there's a cost, right? It's not free. So I think having that, and depends on where you live. I'm sure there's certain things you can do, some certain things you can't do, right? Like, if it costs to send them to whatever daycare for half a day, full day, couple days a week, every day of the week, I'm sure there's a different cost to that. I don't think just all of that or some of that is just, extravagant plays and stuff like that. I'm sure when it comes down to it, yes, you probably spend some things here and there you probably shouldn't, but I don't think it's as much as you think you're spending, or that's what it appears to be, just because I'm sure there are other things that goes out just because. Having said that, I do also believe that there's certain things you can do to kind of cut down on the budget. I'm sure there are some subscriptions that's not listed here that can be canceled or at least paused. There's a 401k and Acorn investments. I will probably stop the Acorn investments if you can. I don't think it's time to do anything like that right now. 401k, I don't know what your dynamics are and what the employer matches are and stuff like that. I also would put a pause onto that, except for maybe like up to maybe the employer's match, just because that's just doesn't make sense to not get that. Um, and then let's see. Uh, I guess the one of the big thing about the tax thing, and I mentioned it at the end as well, is that I guess the tax person told you that you'll be getting about 10 grand in refund if you put 4,000 into IRA. Well, the one thing that they don't mention is that what if you don't put the 4,000 into an IRA? Because because yes, the IRA contribution is pre-tax things, so like your gross income or the taxable income comes down, but you pay tax at a percentage. So yes, you put 4,000 into it, but that adjustment in the tax is only like, I don't know, maybe $1,000, maybe $1,500, stuff like that. Not like, you get a dollar for dollar return. I don't think, unless I'm mistaken somewhere, but and again, I'm not a CPA by any means, right? So I'll definitely look into that. Another thing is, I don't know if you can actually put 4,000 into an IRA now. That is, again, I'm not doing this on the 18th, but I think the Reddit says you actually did this on the 19th as well. So I just don't know. I think you kind of missed the boat because you would have to have contributed it for the year prior to, not 2023. So I'll definitely check into that as well. As far as paying of the debt and all of that is concerned, definitely trying to pay off, as much debt as you can with every single dollar that you get back from the IRS for the tax revenue. As soon as you get it, I will definitely try to pay down, the pretty much everything that you listed as a debt in reverse order, right? So other pay, Affirm, and stuff like that, as much as you can. Apple Card, I'm sure you should be able to knock out both of those, even if you don't do the $4,000 IRA and get the full 10,000. Even if you only get like half of it back or whatnot, you should be able to knock down. Based on what you're saying, it seems like it's only $3,000 for those, and everything after that, all the payments that you're saving from that, of course, snowball it into the credit cards. It says 13,000 and 0% interest. Doesn't matter if it's 0% interest. Definitely pay that off because that's a time bomb that's ticking, and it would be better for you to actually pay that down. Just because again, the after that, the increase on that is so tremendous. So I'll definitely try to pay all of those off as fast as you can, as much as you can. But again, the biggest takeaway here though is that knowing exactly where the money's going. even though it's not a fixed expenditure or fixed costs or fixed expenses, I definitely think you need to know where they're going. So, you know, if you have to spend some things because of this and that, you know that, and there's nothing you can really do to kind of change that or control that. Like if it's something you have to do, you have to do it. Now, you did mention that you spend a little bit of money here and there because you're, frustrated or stressed or whatnot, stuff like that, depressed. Which I do the same thing sometimes. Like when I feel like things are not just going well, I go, just go shopping. I typically don't like going to shopping, but if you see me at the mall, that means I'm stressed. Like I'm trying to buy things. If I'm buying some clothes or shoes or whatever it is, I don't like doing this stuff, but I do that to kind of release stress and stuff like that, which it's not healthy. It's not great, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But really, at the end, we gotta have this. I'll kind of figure it out. And obviously, if you do that every month or every week, obviously that's not good. I'd rather go to a therapist, right, to seek help that way rather than going and shopping spree, right? Because a therapist can probably help you a lot better than me just trying to figure it out on my own. So that's what I definitely recommend, doing that, looking into that. Um, let me know what your thoughts are, what your comments are, what you guys think. I believe this is actually a really good post. I'm glad that you're making a lot more money. One thing to kind of keep in mind is that now that you did get $6,000 worth of or $60,000 worth of increase in your pay, you could actually look into getting your lifestyle creeping up even more. But you're here, you're trying to make changes and stuff like that. I'm glad now you're kind of aware of things and trying to pay these things down and increase your income and investments and stuff. Definitely try to do something like that for you and 401k, IRA, all of that after the debt is paid off. But also start something for your kids. You got a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old. You gotta have something set aside for them. Hopefully you can do that. Good luck to you. Thanks.